Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kate and I'm a certified sex educator with ADHD. And my area of special interest is the intersection of neurodivergency and disability and all things sex, intimacy, and relationships. Over the past couple of years, I've built a community of almost 2 million people who follow me across my various social media platforms because apparently they like what I do. And that's amazing, but one of the issues is that I get a lot of mail. Like, a lot of mail. And in those emails and messages and DMs are a lot of really, really good questions that unfortunately I can't always talk about on places like TikTok or Instagram where they tend to be a little bit more family friendly. But here's the thing. YouTube has a much more generous education policy, and they also allow me to mark this video as, for adults, which means that we can have a little bit more nuanced conversation about sex and intimacy in a which means that we can have more nuanced conversations about sex and intimacy and relationships in ways that we can't do elsewhere. So I am very excited to introduce my new series, Ask Kate. Probably should have thought of a title before I started recording. Like I said, I get so many good questions from people all over the world asking about sex and intimacy and relationships, so we're going to answer some of them today. Now, I want to say before I begin, I'm always going to anonymize these questions because obviously consent is mandatory and I don't ever want to accidentally reveal somebody's identity or dox them or anything terrible like that. So these will always remain completely anonymous. And if you have a burning question that you really want to have answered, feel free to email me, Catieosaurus.com. You can also always leave a comment in the comments below if you're okay with other people seeing it. But let's get started. I'm super excited about this first question because it is a very commonly asked question, but it is also a question that lives right at the intersection of kink and brain science, which is the technical term. The question is, my significant other has ADHD and he tends to seem very moody the day after we have sex. Do you think this could be due to his ADHD? Like a large release of dopamine from pleasure and then withdrawals? Have you heard of this before? Yes, I have. So let's talk about it. Not only have I heard of this, this phenomenon has a very specific name. It's called drop. And drop is a very frequent conversation in the kink community, but there is another community that also uses this term, and it's convention goers. If you've ever heard of people saying that they've got con drop, it's pretty much the exact same thing. Now, my favorite part about the answer to this question is that it lives solely at the intersection of sex and science. So we're going to talk about brain chemistry today. Well, we're going to talk about brains, and then we're going to talk about chemistry. Brain chemistry? When we do enjoyable things, stuff that we like, whether it be sex or intimacy or going to a convention or eating spicy foods or exercising, I think I said that one already. But when we do those things, our brain releases endorphins. And endorphins are fundamentally happy chemicals. They make you feel good. At the same time, especially when we talk about sex or intimacy, our brain is also releasing dopamine and serotonin. We are happy, we are expecting a reward, an orgasm. And so when we get excited, when our brain anticipates a reward, it says, aha, send out the dopamine. And so when we do something enjoyable, our brain uses those chemicals. It releases endorphin. It releases epinephrine. It releases dopamine. It releases serotonin. And so you've got all of these chemicals kind of like floating around in your brain and in your body. And so you feel really good. And so for some people, especially in kink and BDSM spaces, this is where the term subspace comes in because your brain gets so flooded with those chemicals that you are feeling really, really good. But, as Isaac Newton taught us, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. And so once your brain sort of fills with those good chemicals and you're kind of burned through those chemicals that are in your brain, there comes a drop. Those chemicals wear off. And for some people, the results of that can be really difficult to navigate through. For some people, that might look like being really grumpy or really distant or needing to be alone the day after they have sex. You might find yourself more irritable than normal, more sensitive than normal, more depressed than normal. You've burned through those chemicals, your body has run out, and now your body is trying to replenish them and create more to sort of get you back to that baseline where you normally are. Now, in conversation with whether or not this is an ADHD thing, it's important to note that there is some evidence to support the fact that people with ADHD tend to have lower levels of dopamine and serotonin in their brain. So when you kind of spend that dopamine, when you spend that serotonin, it can be harder to sort of reach back up to a baseline. So that's what drop is. It's basically your brain releasing all of those good chemicals and you're feeling good and you're feeling great, and then they wear off. And so your brain needs time to sort of fill up the tank and get you back to where you normally are. Now, like I said earlier, this isn't just a sex thing. And I think a lot of people are often surprised to find out that things like con drop happen. A lot of brides feel this way after their wedding. There's this huge lead up to their big party. And then the day after they're like, well, what do I do now? This is very, very common in a lot of different places and a lot of different aspects of life. But a lot of people don't know that it's a thing. A lot of people don't know that there's a term for it. And perhaps most importantly, for the purposes of this video, a lot of people don't know that there are things that you can do to take care of your partner in order to sort of mitigate those bad feelings. It's called aftercare. Now, aftercare is a big conversation in the kink and BDSM community because for a lot of people, it is a vital part of the kink experience as a whole, because drop is almost kind of a given for a lot of people. Not for everybody, but for a lot of us. Some people will need extra attention. Some people will need cuddles and reassurance. Some people want to be left alone, and that's okay too. So one of the things that's really important is to talk with your partner and ask them what they need. Me, for example, I need dark chocolate, I need a bottle of water, and I need a fuzzy blanket, and I need some cuddles. Having those things immediately after a kink or sexual experience makes it a lot easier to come back from drop, because as my brain is resetting, I'm still feeling loved, I'm still feeling appreciated, I'm still feeling like my partner likes me and supports me. And so that is a gift that you can give to your partner if they tend to feel bad after they have sex. Now, again, it's really important to talk to your partner about what they need, because what I need might not be what you need, and that's okay. But there's also a million things that might make somebody feel good. And that's why conversations surrounding not only consent and negotiation beforehand are important, but also conversations about what you need after sex are really valuable and important to have as well. So that's drop. This is a true story. I really thought I was going to get through 5 questions in this video, but that was not the case. But you know what? I'm okay with it, because I would always rather answer a question thoroughly and specifically rather than rush through, because honestly, it's a great question that I am sure a lot of people have. Anyway, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like this video, and don't forget to hit the notification button. If you want to follow me on my other social medias, I would be so appreciative. You can find me on TikTok, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Twitch. And if you have a message that you really want to send me and you really want to make sure that I see, the only platform where I can absolutely guarantee a response to any message that I get is OnlyFans. So you can head over to my OnlyFans as well, and that's also where I put the spicy content. I'm absolutely going to keep this series going, so like I said earlier, feel free to reach out if you do have a question that you would like to see answered in this new series. But otherwise, until next time, remember to be kind to yourself, remember to be kind to others, drink some water, eat a snack, take your meds, and remember that I love you. Okay, bye everybody!